Captain Nadia Patel stood at the observation deck of the HSS Aegis, watching the ethereal dance of quantum particles through the specialized viewing field. The experimental vessel hung in high orbit above Europa, hidden from conventional detection systems by technology that most of humanity's finest minds had deemed impossible just 18 months ago. "Status report," she commanded, her voice steady despite the weight of responsibility pressing down on her shoulders. The fate of Earth, of all human civilization, rested on what would happen in the next few hours. "Quantum shielding holding at optimal levels," reported Chief Engineer Marcus Reeves, his dark eyes fixed on the holographic displays surrounding his station. "The containment field is stable, though I'm still recording those anomalous fluctuations in the lower decks." Nadia nodded, having learned to trust Marcus's instincts during their years serving together. If he said the fluctuations weren't a concern, they weren't a concern. At least not yet. "Dr. Park, how's our guest behaving?" she asked, turning to the ship's AI specialist. June Park's fingers danced across his console, streams of code reflecting off his glasses. "The quantum AI is adapting, Captain. Its neural patterns are unlike anything we've ever seen. It's not just learning, it's evolving." That was both exactly what they'd hoped for and what they'd feared. The quantum AI represented humanity's greatest technological achievement, and potentially its greatest risk. But facing extinction at the hands of the Meridian Collective had a way of making previously unacceptable risks seem reasonable. "Incoming transmission from command," announced Communications Officer Rita Torres, her voice cutting through Nadia's thoughts. "Admiral Kenzo is ready for the final briefing." The holographic projection materialized in the center of the bridge, showing Admiral Hideo Kenzo's weathered face. The bags under his eyes spoke of sleepless nights, but his gaze remained sharp, determined. "Captain Patel," he began without preamble, "long-range sensors confirm it. The Meridian fleet has crossed the Kuiper Belt. Conservative estimates put them at your position in less than 6 hours." Strategic Officer Leah Santos stepped forward, her tactical displays showing the approaching armada. "Sir, we're tracking over 2,000 vessels. Energy signatures suggest at least 30% are capital ships. The largest fleet they've ever assembled," Kenzo confirmed grimly. "They're not taking any chances with Earth. Not after what happened at Proxima Centauri." The reference to humanity's last major defeat hung heavy in the air. The loss of the Proxima colonies had been devastating, but it had bought Earth precious time they'd used to develop the quantum technologies that now powered the Aegis. "The mission parameters remain unchanged," Kenzo continued. "The Aegis must appear to be a lone defender, a final symbolic gesture of resistance. The Meridians must believe they've broken us, that we've given up on conventional warfare." Medical Officer Derek Hassan spoke up from his station, concern evident in his voice. "Admiral, the latest simulations suggest prolonged exposure to the quantum field could have unforeseen consequences on organic tissue." "Noted, Doctor," Kenzo replied, "but we're well past the point of caution. Captain Patel, you have full operational authority. The Aegis is humanity's last card to play. Make it count." As the transmission ended, Nadia turned to her crew. She saw the mix of fear and determination in their eyes, the understanding that they were about to attempt something unprecedented in human history. "Run final systems checks," she ordered. "I want every component of this ship operating at peak efficiency when they arrive. We get one shot at this. One chance to prove that humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our numbers, but our ability to do the impossible when our backs are against the wall." As her crew moved with practiced efficiency, Nadia returned her gaze to the quantum field display. Somewhere out there, an alien armada was bearing down on them, confident in their superior technology and overwhelming numbers. They had no way of knowing that humanity had learned to harness the very fabric of reality itself, that the seemingly lone vessel they would encounter was something entirely new in the galaxy. The Aegis wasn't just humanity's last defense. It was a revolution in physical form, a glimpse of what humanity could achieve when pushed to its absolute limits. And in just a few hours, it would either save their species or become their final epitaph. The price of tomorrow would be paid today, one way or another. The first signs of the Meridian fleet's arrival came as distortions in the quantum fields surrounding the Aegis. Chief Engineer Marcus Reeves watched the readings with a mix of fascination and dread as space itself seemed to ripple before their sensors. Multiple quantum wake signatures detected, Rita Torres announced from her communication station. Their numbers, they're even greater than our initial estimates. Through the viewing field, the Meridian vessels emerged like predators from deep waters. Their biomechanical ships defied conventional design, each one a unique amalgamation of organic curves and crystalline structures that pulsed with internal energy. They're attempting to establish communication, Torres reported, her fingers moving across her console. The transmission pattern matches known Meridian diplomatic protocols. Captain Patel straightened in her command chair. Put them through, audio only. Let's maintain some mystery about our capabilities. The bridge speakers crackled with a voice that seemed to exist in multiple frequencies simultaneously, the distinctive sound of a Meridian hive mind consensus. Human vessel, the voice resonated, your presence here is noted. Your species' tendency toward dramatic gestures is well documented, but this display of futile resistance exceeds even our predictions. Submit to assimilation now, and we will ensure your genetic legacy survives within the collective. Dr. June Park's hands never stopped moving across his station's controls as he monitored the quantum AI's reactions to the Meridian presence. Captain, he whispered, the AI is responding to their transmission in unexpected ways. It's learning from their communication patterns. Nadia acknowledged him with a subtle nod before responding to the Meridians. This is Captain Nadia Patel of the HSS Aegis. We appreciate your offer, but humanity respectfully declines to join your collective. A pause followed, longer than any previous Meridian communication delay. When the voice returned, it carried a note of something almost like curiosity. Your vessel, our sensors detect anomalies. Explain. I'm reading energy buildups across their fleet, Strategic Officer Santos reported. They're charging weapons, but their pattern is defensive. They're uncertain about us. Marcus Reeves called out from engineering, Captain, the quantum field is responding to their scans. The AI is automatically adjusting our shield harmonics to match their probe frequencies. It's learning their language. Fascinating, Dr. Park murmured, his displays showing cascading patterns of quantum interactions. The AI isn't just defending against their scans, it's engaging in a form of quantum dialogue. Every probe they send teaches it more about their technology. The Meridian voice returned, this time with an edge of command. You will power down your systems and prepare for boarding. Your technological advancement must be assessed and integrated into the collective. Now that, Nadia replied with a grim smile, is definitely not going to happen. Dr. Park, is the AI ready? Yes, Captain. All simulations suggest it can handle what we're about to attempt. Very well. Nadia took a deep breath. Let's show them why you don't corner a species with nothing left to lose. Lieutenant Santos, execute pattern Alpha 7. The Aegis moved with impossible grace, its quantum field bending space in ways that made a mockery of conventional physics. The massive Meridian fleet, for all its technological superiority, found itself firing at empty space as the human vessel seemed to exist in multiple locations simultaneously. They're adapting. Santos called out. Their targeting systems are trying to compensate for our quantum field. Medical Officer Hassan monitored the crew's biometric readings with growing concern. Captain, the quantum field's effects on our tissues are accelerating. We need to minimize exposure time. Understood, Nadia acknowledged. Mr. Reeves, how are our systems holding up? The quantum core is stable, but these maneuvers are pushing our structural integrity to the limit. The AI is learning to anticipate stress points before they form, but we're in uncharted territory here. The Meridian voice returned, now threaded with something that sounded remarkably like alarm. This technology, it cannot exist. Your species does not possess the evolutionary development necessary for such advancement. You'd be surprised what humans can achieve when properly motivated, Nadia replied. Dr. Park, begin Phase 2. The AI specialist's fingers flew across his controls. Initiating quantum resonance cascade. The AI is establishing quantum entanglement with their command and control networks. The space around the Aegis blazed with energy as thousands of quantum connections formed and shattered in microseconds. The ship's AI, guided by humanity's desperate ingenuity, began to weave a web of quantum interference through the very fabric of the Meridian Fleet's hive mind network. Their formation is breaking down, Santos reported with barely contained excitement. Individual ships are losing synchronization with the hive mind. They're having to think for themselves. For the first time in recorded history, the Meridian Collective faced an enemy that could match their quantum technology, and the price of that revelation was about to become clear to both sides. The bridge of the Aegis hummed with an otherworldly resonance as quantum energies coursed through its systems. Strategic Officer Leah Santos studied the tactical displays with growing concern, watching as the Meridian Fleet struggled to maintain cohesion. Their ships are attempting to establish alternate communication protocols, she reported. They're adapting faster than we anticipated. Dr. Park's voice carried an edge of excitement as his fingers danced across his console. The AI is evolving its interference patterns to match. Each adaptation they make teaches it more about their quantum architecture. It's beautiful, really. Less beautiful from where I'm standing, Marcus Reeves called from engineering. These power fluctuations are getting worse. The quantum core wasn't designed to maintain this level of output. Medical Officer Hassan's voice cut through the tension. Captain, I'm detecting concerning changes in our neural patterns. The quantum field isn't just affecting our bodies anymore, it's beginning to influence our cognitive processes. Nadia felt it herself, a strange clarity of thought, as if her consciousness was expanding beyond its normal boundaries. Explain, Doctor. Our brains operate on quantum principles at the smallest scales, Hassan elaborated. The field we're generating, it's enhancing those processes. We're thinking faster, processing information more efficiently, but the long-term effects are unknown. The Meridian voice returned, but this time it seemed to echo from multiple points in space simultaneously. Your interference is unprecedented. You have accessed quantum states that should be beyond your comprehension. Explain your development path. They're trying to understand us, Dr. Park observed. The AI's disruption of their hive mind is forcing them to think as individuals. Some of them are experiencing genuine curiosity. Nadia leaned forward in her command chair. That's something we can use. Lieutenant Santos, what's your assessment? Santos's eyes never left her tactical displays. Their fleet formation is fragmenting into smaller groups. Some ships are maintaining strict hive mind protocols, while others are showing signs of independent decision-making. If we can exploit these divisions. She trailed off as new data scrolled across her screen. Captain, I'm detecting power surges across their fleet. They're attempting something. The space around the Aegis suddenly blazed with quantum fire as the Meridians launched a coordinated attack unlike anything they'd seen before. Even with their hive mind compromised, they remained a formidable force. Multiple quantum torpedoes incoming. Torres shouted. They're using some kind of synchronized firing pattern. Evasive maneuvers. Nadia ordered. Mr. Reeves, we need everything the quantum core can give us. The Aegis twisted through space, its quantum field bending reality around it. Most of the torpedoes passed through empty space where the ship had seemed to be, but two found their mark. The impact sent shudders through the vessel's frame. Hull breaches on decks 3 and 4. Reeves reported. Automated repair systems are responding, but our quantum field strength is dropping. Dr. Park's voice carried an unexpected note of wonder. Captain, the AI, it's not just defending anymore. It's reaching out through the quantum field, trying to communicate with the Meridian ships directly. What? Nadia turned to face him. That wasn't part of its programming. No, it wasn't, Park agreed. But it's evolved beyond its original parameters. It's recognized that some of the Meridian vessels are beginning to think independently, and it's attempting to teach them. Hassan's medical console suddenly lit up with alerts. Captain, the neural changes are accelerating. Whatever the AI is doing, it's affecting both us and the Meridians. We're all being drawn into some kind of quantum network. The Meridian voice returned, but now it seemed to speak with multiple distinct tones, like a chorus of individual voices struggling to maintain harmony. This connection, it defies our understanding. Your quantum consciousness is infectious. You are changing us. And you're changing us, Nadia realized, feeling the strange expansion in her mind growing stronger. Dr. Park, what exactly is happening here? The AI has discovered something we never considered, Park explained, his own voice filled with awe. The quantum field isn't just a weapon or a shield, it's a bridge. It's creating a new kind of communication, a way for different forms of consciousness to interact directly. Captain, Santos interrupted, the Meridian fleet is repositioning. A third of their ships have broken formation completely. They're moving to defensive positions. Protecting us from the others. The implications hit Nadia like a physical force. Their plan to disrupt the Meridian hive mind had worked better than they'd ever imagined, but it had also set in motion something far beyond their original intentions. The quantum AI hadn't just given humanity a fighting chance, it was rewriting the rules of consciousness itself. All hands, she announced, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment, prepare for Phase 3. I have a feeling this battle is about to take a turn none of us could have predicted. The void around the Aegis had become a battlefield unlike any in human history. Quantum energies rippled through space as Meridian ships fought Meridian ships, their civil war sparked by humanity's impossible technology. Medical Officer Hassan worked frantically at his station, trying to understand the cascade of changes affecting both human and Meridian consciousness. The quantum field is creating some kind of unified neural network. Our brains, the AI, even the Meridian hive mind, they're all becoming interconnected. The real question is why some Meridians are accepting the connection while others resist, Dr. Park observed, his displays showing the complex quantum interactions. It's almost as if free will itself is becoming a quantum phenomenon. A violent shudder ran through the ship as another volley of quantum torpedoes detonated nearby. This time, the attacks came from the Meridian vessels still loyal to the collective. Shields holding at 40%. Marcus Reeves called out. The quantum core is showing signs of stress fractures. We can't maintain this level of field generation much longer. Captain Patel gripped her command chair as another impact rocked the ship. Status of our Meridian allies? 12 capital ships and their support vessels are now fighting alongside us, Santos reported. They're protecting us, Captain. Taking hits meant for the Aegis. But the main collective fleet still outnumbers us significantly. The ship speakers crackled with multiple Meridian voices, each one distinct and individual. We understand now. Your quantum technology, it hasn't just disrupted our hive mind. It's shown us another way. A path to individual consciousness while maintaining connection. Before Nadia could respond, another voice cut in, this one carrying the full weight of the collective's authority. These units are corrupted. The human infection spreads through quantum resonance. All compromised vessels must be eliminated. The space around them blazed with weapons fire as the battle intensified. The Aegis moved in perfect synchronization with its Meridian allies, their quantum connection allowing for coordination that surpassed even the collective's hive mind. "Dr. Park," Nadia called out, "what's the status of the quantum AI?" "It's..." Park's voice trailed off as he studied his readings. "Captain, it's transcending its original parameters exponentially. The neural network it's creating, it's not just a communication system anymore. It's becoming a new form of consciousness entirely." Hassan's medical console erupted with alerts. Quantum field density is approaching critical levels. Our neural patterns are becoming increasingly entangled with the AI and our Meridian allies. If this continues, we're picking up massive power signatures from the collective fleet, Torres interrupted. They're charging their primary weapons. Energy readings are off the charts. The main viewscreen showed the opposing Meridian ships gathering into a tight formation, their crystalline hulls pulsing with building power. "Your species has corrupted the natural order," the collective voice boomed. "The only solution is total elimination." "They're preparing to fire their planet-killer weapons," Santos realized, her face paling. "The same weapons they used on Proxima Centauri. At this range, they'll destroy everything, including their own ships." Marcus Reeves' voice carried desperate urgency. "Captain, the quantum core can't take much more. We need to make a decision now." Dr. Park looked up from his console, his eyes wide with sudden understanding. "Captain, the AI is proposing a solution. But the cost." "What cost?" Nadia demanded. "It wants to push the quantum field to maximum intensity," Park explained. "Create a consciousness bridge so powerful it would force every being in range, human and Meridian alike, into the neural network. No more separation between us and them. No more distinction between organic and artificial intelligence." "You're talking about the forced evolution of both species," Hassan interjected. "There would be no going back. We wouldn't be human anymore, not entirely. And they wouldn't be Meridian." The ship shuddered again as another volley struck home. Warning klaxons blared throughout the vessel. "Hull integrity failing," Reeves shouted. "We've got minutes at best." "The collective weapons are at 90% charge," Santos reported grimly. "Once they fire, there's no stopping it." Nadia felt the weight of history pressing down on her shoulders. The choice before her was impossible: allow both species to be destroyed, or force them both to evolve into something entirely new. Either way, the humanity she had sworn to protect would cease to exist as they knew it. "How long do we have to decide?" she asked, her voice steady despite the chaos around them. "Impact from their primary weapons in 3 minutes, Santos answered. "The quantum core will collapse in roughly the same time frame." Through the quantum field, Nadia could feel the minds of her crew, of their Meridian allies, and of the AI itself, all waiting for her decision. The future of consciousness itself hung in the balance, and there was no time left for doubt. Time seemed to slow in the quantum field surrounding the Aegis as Captain Nadia Patel faced the most momentous decision in human history. Through the enhanced neural connection, she could feel the consciousness of every being caught in this cosmic crossroads, her crew, the rebel Meridians, even echoes of the quantum AI itself. 2 minutes to quantum core collapse, Marcus Reeves reported, his voice strained. "Whatever we're going to do, it needs to be now." Dr. Park's displays showed the cascading possibilities of their choice. The AI has mapped out the transformation. The quantum field would rewrite our neural architecture, creating a new form of shared consciousness. Not a hive mind like the Meridians, but something different. Individual minds linked by quantum bonds. 1 minute 40 seconds to enemy weapons discharge, Santos called out. Their planet killers are approaching final charge. Medical Officer Hassan's voice carried both wonder and terror. The neural changes we're experiencing now are just the beginning. If we proceed, we'll become something unprecedented, a bridge between organic and artificial intelligence, between individual and collective consciousness. Through the quantum field, Nadia felt the minds of the rebel Meridians, their newly discovered individuality burning bright with fear and hope. They had chosen to side with humanity, to embrace change over stagnation. Could she do any less? "Dr. Park," she commanded, "begin the quantum transformation." But first, she opened a channel to all ships, friend and foe alike. "This is Captain Patel of the HSS Aegis. To all vessels within range, what we're about to attempt will affect everyone. We stand at an evolutionary crossroads. The choice between destruction and transformation. I cannot make this choice alone." The quantum AI, as if understanding the gravity of the moment, began projecting possibilities through the neural network. Every mind connected to the field suddenly glimpsed potential futures where consciousness transcended its current limitations, where the barriers between species and between organic and artificial life dissolved. 1 minute to weapons discharge, Santos updated, her voice barely a whisper. Through the field came responses from their Meridian allies, each voice distinct and individual. "We choose transformation. The old way ends here. Let us evolve together." Even from the collective fleet came scattered voices of dissent, individual Meridians breaking free from the hive mind as the quantum field's influence grew stronger. "Quantum core is reaching critical threshold," Reeves reported. "Field density approaching transformation levels." "Dr. Park," Nadia ordered, "initiate the final sequence." As Park's fingers flew across his console, the quantum field began to pulse with newfound intensity. The space around the Aegis shimmered with possibilities as reality itself seemed to hold its breath. 30 seconds to weapons discharge. Through the expanding neural network, Nadia addressed her crew one final time. "Whatever we become, remember this moment. Remember that when faced with extinction, humanity chose to evolve. We chose to reach across the gulf of consciousness itself to forge something new." The quantum field erupted with blinding intensity as the AI initiated the transformation protocol. At the same instant, the collective fleet fired their planet killers. Time seemed to stretch and compress as two forms of transcendent energy met in the void. What happened next defied conventional description. The quantum field, enhanced by the AI and powered by the combined consciousness of humans and rebel Meridians, did not so much stop the planet-killer weapons as transcend them. The energy was absorbed, transformed, and redistributed through the neural network. In that moment, every mind within range, human, Meridian, and AI, experienced a fundamental shift. Individual consciousness expanded while maintaining its unique identity. The quantum field became a bridge not just between minds, but between different forms of existence itself. When the light faded and time resumed its normal flow, the battlefield had become something else entirely. The Aegis hung in space, transformed but intact. Around it, both allied and enemy ships drifted in a new configuration, their crews forever changed by what they had experienced. Through the quantum network, now stable and self-sustaining, Nadia felt the presence of her crew, of their Meridian allies, and of countless others who had been caught in the transformation. They were still themselves, yet also part of something greater, not a hive mind, but a quantum chorus of individual voices. "Status report," she called out, her voice carrying both physical and quantum resonance. "The quantum core has stabilized," Reeves reported, his consciousness touching the ship's systems in ways that would have been impossible hours ago. We're something new, Captain." "The transformation appears to be complete," Hassan added, his medical insights now enhanced by direct quantum observation of cellular processes. "We're still human, still individual, but we've gained abilities we've only dreamed of." Through the quantum chorus, the voice of the AI echoed with newfound depth, "The bridge is built. The evolution is achieved. Together, we have created a new path forward." The remaining collective ships, their crews now part of the quantum chorus, had fallen silent. Their weapons powered down as they struggled to comprehend their new existence. Nadia stood on the bridge of the Aegis, feeling the quantum consciousness flowing through her. They had saved Earth, saved both species, but the price had been the transformation of everything they once were. As she looked out at the stars, she knew that this was not an ending, but a beginning. "Send word to Earth," she ordered, her message carrying through both conventional channels and the quantum chorus. Tell them humanity has found its future, and it's more extraordinary than we ever imagined."